Welcome, everyone, to the weekly town hall hosted by HR Tech Alliances and supported by our subscribing members. We appreciate them. And one of our newest members we're really excited to showcase today. We've got Jen and Rick from ChartHop. Just a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll get into it. We try to keep it semi-formal and semi-informal at the same time. For those that aren't already on the Town Hall page, you can go to Town Hall directly and you'll see opportunities to meet up with the registrants and connect and collaborate directly, so you don't have to be messaging links and things like that. It's really something that we try to do to streamline the collaboration process. And part of it is getting to know our different members. We're thrilled to have ChartHop talking today about their product and how they're going to market and opportunities to collaborate with them on their ecosystem plays. That's about it in terms of getting things started. I'll turn it over here to Rick and Jen to introduce themselves and their background a little bit and tell us more about ChartHop and how we can collaborate.
Sounds great. Thank you, Ward. My name is Rick Osmer. I'm the VP of Sales and Partnerships here at ChartHop, based out of the Boston area. I've been in the HR tech space for a little over 25 years now, primarily on the recruiting side, but more recently on the post-hire side of things. I have with me Jen Davis. Jen, you want to take a quick second to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Jen Davis. I am running the partnership function for Rick and started in December. Been in the HR tech space for over 30 years with a background in field sales, was at SAP for almost 10 years. Before that, I was with UKG, with IBM. So have a lot of background experience with HR tech and really excited about coming here at ChartHop and building out the partnership function. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Jen. Yeah, we'll just jump right in terms of our core use cases. We do a lot as an organization from a platform standpoint. We're going to focus primarily today on the platform itself, as well as our headcount planning and AI capabilities. Know that we do much more than that, and we'll touch on this briefly as we go through the presentation. What is ChartHop? We are a multi-module dynamic people ops platform that helps you unify and visualize all of your people and business data into one synthesized layer. We also empower you to make informed decisions, leveraging our AI capabilities, basically make your data conversational. And that is the power that we're seeing. In terms of our ICP, just to give all the partners out there a heads up, our primary ICP is people within the HR and people functions within all segments. So we satisfy SMB, mid-market, and enterprise clients. We have different tiers of reps that handle all segments of the business. We are a global platform, so we're fully GDPR compliant. We are fully translated front to back in 5 different languages. We can support additional languages upon request. They're very easy for us to stand up. We also have localized data storage in the US, the EU, and APAC. So we can handle really global, robust needs, whether it's both on the language standpoint as well as data localization as well. So in terms of what we do, really the first and foremost of ChartHop and the magic in what we do is our platform layer. This is the connective tissue between all of our apps and bundles that allows you to take all of your data, whether it's from the core HRIS system or your payroll data, as well as different business-related tools. It could be your Salesforce environment. It could be your performance review module that you're currently using. We take all this data from different resources, about 100 integrations that we have internally today, and synthesize it in our platform layer. With that comes robust access controls. We have the ability to really satisfy any sort of custom access setup that you potentially need within your organization, whether you're a small 50-person organization or we just signed a 40,000-person French organization that had very high security measures. We can satisfy really any global access control management needs. And on top of this comes our AI capabilities. ChartHop has what we call Ask ChartHop, and effectively it makes your data conversational. It's not just a simple ask a question, get a response. It actually is agentic in many ways, in the sense that it can actually do work. A good example of this is the ability to create dashboards. You can say, I want to see all my people across different departments. What's the growth look like over time? I want to see it as a bar chart, and I want to see it for the last fiscal year. You'll actually see the AI do the work in real time as it's being put together and actually provide that chart to you. So it actually makes your ability to pull data very easy and seamless. On top of that, we want to say the platform established. We allow you to visualize, like I just mentioned, whether that's your organizational chart, you can do reporting and dashboards within the platform itself. We have what we call our data sheets. They're effectively dynamic spreadsheets that allow you to ingest and create custom fields, whether that's from an HRIS system or even a CSV upload that allows you to synthesize that data. We also have a mobile application. You can take ChartHop on the fly. You can use all of the functionality from a mobile app, so you don't have to be sitting behind a desk to see the power of the platform in action. Once we're able to visualize the data, we then allow you to act. All of the modules you see here are modules that we offer as an organization. We have our headcount planning, our HRIS. We do compensation reviews, performance reviews, engagement, and goals. Goals is like goals and OKRs. Now, the beauty of what we do is we are an open access system in the sense that you can build to our APIs. We have an open API. We also don't require you to use our modules in order to get the benefit of our technology. So whether you already have a headcount planning tool like a Candor IQ, or if you have a performance management software like a Lattice or an engagement software like CultureAmp, doesn't matter. We can integrate with all those solutions to allow you to basically take action on the data once you visualize it within our platform. So let's talk about the platform in a little bit more detail. It allows you to slice and dice your data in any way with our flexible data sheets. This allows you to take core data from your HRIS system, put it into a spreadsheet format, allow you to create custom fields on top of that, and allow you to basically then act and visualize upon that information. With the AI, it allows you to make your data conversational. So once we have the ingestion of the data into the platform, whether that's performance, compensation, people data, skills data, you can ask ChartHop really anything you want to get the answer that you need, or even create work if you need it to be created. What is really impactful and what we're going to be launching in the near future is some more robust agentic capabilities that go beyond just creating dashboards and reporting and actually do functional work within certain segments of the HR organization. Again, we're not here to replace people. That is not our goal. We are here to accelerate and make people more productive in their particular roles to allow them to execute on the do more with less strategy that a lot of organizations are dealing with these days, given the economic conditions. More about the platform, understand management relationships. We can do interactive org charts to visualize your data. We can do even more robust capabilities there with our headcount planning module. But with the platform comes a basic org chart. So you can actually see your people in real time. With our integrations with core HRS systems, which is our kind of primary baseline, we need to integrate with a payroll or an HRIS provider to get the people data. We integrate with every single major HRIS platform out there. Your HiBobs, Ripplings, your SAPs, Workdays, Oracles, doesn't matter to us. We can integrate with any of the major HRIS and payroll providers out there. We then allow you to collaborate and connect with other people in the organization. We are an organization that does not charge based on a per user model. So effectively, anybody that wants access to ChartHop can get access to ChartHop as part of their contract with us. And then more importantly, you can share data with confidence. And again, this goes back to our access management controls. The data that you share is going to be based on the level of permission that individual is granted to see that particular data. So they'll never see something they're not supposed to see. We respect the hierarchical relationships of people within organizations, as well as what they ultimately have provision to in terms of access of information. Typically, it's downward reporting, but you can't see like sideways or up in terms of the organization. And that's all based on our access controls as well.
Is that typically following an existing hierarchy or roles and responsibilities, or is it usually independent of other HR systems maybe already in place in terms of who can see what kind of data?
It's really either or. If you have access controls already established in your core HR system, we can respect those same permission levels with ChartHop. And just by nature of some of the integrations that we have, some technologies don't really have robust access controls, and they need us to provide a layer of complexity on top of that. So we can even build on what maybe other companies can't from an access control perspective. We were built with a security mindset first. So that's really what we focus on.
And do you typically do that for them, or do they have access to doing that themselves?
They can self-service that in their own way within the back end of the platform. The platform itself is very intuitive and easy to use. However, if you need support, we have about 5 times the amount of support personnel than we do sales professionals. So you always have someone to reach out to. Most of our accounts have a dedicated CS person and a support person they can reach out to at any point for support.
Nice. All right. Thank you.
No problem. So the AI, this is something we deployed in the last year. We're further building upon it with some announcements coming at Transform. But with the platform comes our native AI Copilot. It allows you to make your data conversational. You can ask questions. You can have it do work within the data that we have within the system today. Really what makes this powerful is the more data we're able to synthesize and put into the platform just makes the AI even more powerful over time. So again, you could have your HRIS data coming into the platform. You could have your performance data coming in from a Lattice. You can have your Salesforce data coming in for your sales organization, or your Zendesk tickets for your engineering staff. The more data we ingest unlocks more power within what insights you can glean as a result of our AI Copilot within the platform today. The unified people graph, basically, is just one flexible model. And again, the biggest objection, I have messy data and garbage in is garbage out, that whole talk track. A lot of organizations actually use us to find where gaps in their data exist today. As part of the onboarding process, we do a full data audit, as well as a field mapping exercise. You can go into the platform and start seeing where gaps in your data exist to help rectify and adjust those gaps as needed with the platform. With regards to if you have our headcount planning module, you can actually have the agent do the scenario plan for you. You can tell it to create roles. You can assign a budget. You can assign a salary and a compensation band. It'll actually create those roles within the scenario planning environment. It won't push it automatically for approval. Obviously, we want human in the loop intervention there to make sure that the AI is doing what it's supposed to be doing. But again, it's all about making people's lives more efficient and productive by using our technology.
Is it primarily the heads of HR who are experimenting with it? Do they want to roll it out system-wide?
More often than not, we're seeing org-wide rollouts for our technology. Because we have the native org chart in our platform layer, it's that single source for people to go to understand who their reporting relationships look like within an organization. So we're seeing a lot of that. In terms of just our core use case, primarily it's the people functions and HR functions within our kind of daily active user base. Although about 35% of our daily active users are actually in the finance suite. VPs of FP&A, we even have CFOs in there. We bridge the gap between HR and finance in our ability to report. The one thing that's really great about our success organization is they're not your typical run-of-the-mill success people in terms of just driving adoption and utilization of the platform. They're actually highly technical. Our support function is very technical, but our CS people can actually do some of the customization of the platform themselves without having to reach out. They're kind of co-pilot with regards to customers' implementation and onboarding and making sure that they have what they need and the data is being represented the way they want it. And we're proud of our CS. We have a 98.8% CSAT rating. That's one of our shining stars in terms of what we provide. The last thing is our headcount planning. This is our bread and butter product. This is what we started off with as an organization about 7 years ago. It allows you to have that sandbox environment to not just see your people data in terms of relationships in the organizations, but allow you to have a sandbox environment for you to then model out scenarios. Whether it's reorganizing your sales organization, creating new departments, even planning for a potential reduction in force, we allow you to create those model scenarios within our headcount planning module. We have a dynamic approval workflow. Because of the fact that we understand people relationship within an organization, we know that if I create a headcount plan, that is going to be submitted to my CEO for approval. If Jen creates a headcount plan, it goes to me for my approval because of that reporting relationship. And that is all dynamic within the platform. We can actually create custom workflows if you need to, but it's out of the box dynamic based on how people use the technology today. With regards to our ability to create the scenarios, you can have individual departments create their scenarios. Whether it's the sales, the engineering, the people team, the FP&A organization, you can each create individual scenarios and then merge them into one master scenario for final approval. Once that final approval is done, we can then push that data to either your HRIS or your ATS. We do integrate with Ashby, Greenhouse, Lever, JobBite bidirectionally. We get data from the ATS, then can push the recs to the ATS. We can do the position management function with those ATSs. We do a lot of that with Greenhouse today. With regards to pushing that to the HRIS, we want to maintain that the HRIS is the single source of truth. We don't want to do anything that's going to potentially screw up that source of truth. So we have a sync out to the HRIS to then push those approved requisitions back to the HRIS system. We don't have an automatic write back capability by design.
A question for you on the budget impact and things like that. Are you able to ingest different salary surveys?
It's more on the org modeling side. So let's say I want to add 5 sales professionals to my organization, and each of those sales professionals has a $200K salary. Then it would roll up and say, this is about $1 million impact to the organization by making these adjustments. So you can set a budget or work toward that budget. No matter what, if you don't set a budget, we'll always show you the impact based on the financial inputs you put into the platform to know what changes you're making, whether it's adding headcount or subtracting headcount. What is the net gain or benefit to the organization by making those changes based on the salary information, as well as their fully loaded benefits and any sort of equity components. We can really bridge the gap between HR and finance in that regard.
So you can grab the current model, what they have, and bring that in so they can do that modeling.
Yep, you can do that modeling. We integrate with Carta. We integrate with, obviously, the payroll providers as well. We can do all that modeling for you. Let's talk about what we don't do. I'll be totally transparent. We don't provide payroll. We don't provide benefits. We don't have an ATS natively. So if you're a benefits provider or a payroll provider and you want to partner with us, we're open to that. We have different ways to partner with our organization. We are very open in our partnership approach, whether that's a co-selling partnership, a referral partnership, a mutual referral partnership. We can talk about any sort of partnership motion, and Jen's here to support you with that. That's pretty much it. Just those 3 things.
In terms of like the one slide you had all the products listed across the top, you said you started with headcount planning. Did it go left or right? Just curious how you evolved.
We started off with the headcount planning. That was our first foray into the market back in 2018. We then started building out our performance, our compensation, and even our engagement products. And then what we found was that customers were using us for HRIS capabilities, even though we weren't a fully baked HRIS. But based on customer demands, HRIS is our newest launch. It's primarily serving that mid-market SMB motion. We are not competing with an SAP or a Workday or an Oracle in that regard. We're not quite there from an HRIS functionality standpoint. Based on the adoption and prevalence of performance, headcount planning, engagement, and compensation, it just made natural sense for us to evolve into an HRIS.
Can you reflect some on your current customers and what value they're seeing from ChartHop?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of pull right now. We were born off of a high tech, high growth ICP in the early days of ChartHop. We've evolved since then where we're seeing a lot of pull into more of manufacturing, healthcare, even large enterprise organizations and the hospitality and professional services industries. We're evolving in terms of who we service as an organization. We're built to scale. So it doesn't matter how big you are. We can support companies as small as 50 people all the way up to tens, potentially hundreds of thousands.
You mentioned announcing some things at Transform. Care to share before then what that is or what your future plans are to expand? You've got this pretty robust suite. You said what you don't do, but what the future looks like for ChartHop.
One of the biggest things is our goals product. So it's a natural evolution for our performance management solution. And really what it's meant to do is to help organizations expand beyond the typical HR use case. I'll give you an example. I use our goals product every week. It allows you to set goals and OKRs within an organization. And based on the way that we pull data from the different systems, you can then track and monitor your goals over time using our technology. And it's a nice add-on to our performance management solution. We will sell it as an additive to performance management. So you can buy performance management without it or with it, but we're getting a lot of pull in the market in that direction. So that's one of our big launches. The other one is expanding on our AI capabilities, things that we can do to help organizations drive more efficiency and insight based on the data that we have on our platform and actually do some work. That'll be coming out and Transform in a couple of weeks. So hope I'll see you all there.
What kind of partners would you love to add or collaborate with if you had a pick of everyone that's out there?
Our natural fit for the partner organization is if you're an ATS provider, we'd love to talk about a partnership with you. We have a really good relationship with Greenhouse and that team over there, and even SAP and ADP as well. We'd love to talk to you for an ATS. If you're a payroll provider and maybe you're a PEO and you need something to offer on top of your PEO solution for HRIS capabilities, we'd love to talk to you about that. If you're more on the skills side of talent, whether it's recruiting or talent management, we'd love to talk to you as well. We don't do really much on the intangible skills side of things or the skills assessment side of things. Yeah, those are our primary things that we'd love to entertain.
That's great to hear and certainly opens up a lot of possibilities to further support those companies out there that need these types of collaborations so they can better visualize their workforce and predict the future or create the future for themselves.
The beauty of what we do is, especially in the larger end of the market, like the SAP and Workdays, we're an additive layer. So we're just allowing people that use that technology to be more productive in it and get more insights out of those platforms. You don't have to do anything to SAP or Workday to glean the insights that you need because of the way that we ingest the data and visualize and let you act on it. For the larger players in the space, if you are playing with an SAP, if you're playing with a Workday or an ADP or an Oracle, we'd love to talk to you about how we can further complement what you do with them as well. On the lower end of the market, if you're a performance review platform and you want to talk to someone who can maybe round out HRS capabilities, we'd love to talk to you as well. I know we do have competitive solutions, but we're very good about staying in our lane in certain situations and making sure that we don't cross paths where we don't need to. So we want to make it mutually beneficial for both organizations.
I also want to just throw out if we want to do like a co-webinar, that we can do that as well.
Yeah, we love to do webinars. That's one of our things. If you do any customer webinars, we'd love to do those as well.
Any relationships today with advisory or consulting firms in the HR space or even like system integrators? I imagine you do all your implementations in-house. How's that work today?
We don't outsource any of our implementations. Everything's done in-house. Although there is benefit, and then we've started having conversations with some SI partners out there to see what we can do to help complement their offerings or their consulting services. It's a newer thing for us. It's something that Jen and I did at our previous company together. We're just in the early stages here at ChartHop doing it.
Sounds like a good thing to explore in the near future because those larger companies need help across the board. There's only so far you can help them, right? A good SI can really support them. The whole industry is moving quickly. Excited to hear more about your new Agentic offerings and AI solutions and how your customers are able to leverage that for their success. Sounds like you're on an amazing trajectory here, and we're thrilled to have you as members. Thank you for becoming a member, and certainly look forward to helping share the news as you continue to grow and support the HR ecosystem.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Ward. We're excited about being part of the HR Tech Alliances community.
Our pleasure. And typically, if we don't have special guests like we do this week, we'll dive into some of the industry news. Feel free to stick around if you want, get a chance to connect and collaborate and then learn. That's how you know. It's fabulous to know what you guys have. I didn't realize how deep it went, and that's impressive in such a short period of time to have all these solutions. I'm excited to see it grow.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's time today. If you have any questions, there's my email and phone number, and there's Jen's email and phone number. Feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about potential partnership opportunities.
A huge shout out to our 2,000 plus members, especially our founding and corporate members, for their continuing support of the HR Tech Alliances community platform. It's our subscribing members who provide the primary funding that powers our community platform and empowers our mission.